After watching this video and applying the habits I'm about to teach you, you'll become the most attractive, charismatic, and magnetic man in your social circle. Women won't just enjoy being around you, they'll want to flirt with you. These techniques are the same ones top TV hosts and actors use to create playful, flirty chemistry on screen. And once you master them, every conversation you have will be effortlessly engaging and irresistibly fun. A lot of what you will learn in this video can be done by anybody who wants to be more attractive in conversation. Specifically, I'm going to teach you 7 habits that can help you build chemistry with anyone. Learning just a few of these habits will let you go into any conversation with confidence, knowing people are going to love flirting with you. The first thing you should do is to start almost every conversation in a fun, positive way with compliments. Most people we interact with have boring conversation habits, so being around someone who makes us laugh and feel good is almost like a drug. We want to be around that person all the time. One way you can do this is with a high-energy, enthusiastic compliment. Example, you might say, "Look at you, woman, you look sensational." Or, "Hello, Karen, how lovely to see you. You look absolutely enchanting." The first thing to notice is word choice. Most people giving a compliment would just say, "You look great," which is boring. By using more unique words like enchanting and sensational, your compliment is much more likely to light someone up. That said, a good flirty conversation doesn't have to start with a compliment. The second and more important thing is effusive, positive energy. In your own life, a good rule of thumb is to start a conversation with just a bit more energy than most people in a setting. At a loud bar, that may mean being really big with your body language and voice. But in a coffee shop, it can be as subtle as a smile and speaking 20% louder than most people there. This is complemented well by the second habit: over-the-top teasing. Nothing but compliments is boring, and non-stop teasing can make you seem like a jerk. But when you marry the two, you create a fun roller coaster of emotion. If you're not quite sure how to tease someone while flirting, there are 2 easy teases you can steal from this video. The first is asking a rhetorical question that assumes something absurd about her. Here are 2 quick examples.
As a member of the non-tattooed community, I find tattoos fascinating.
Really? Are you interested in getting one?
Not really.
Why do you hate America? Or can you drink coffee when you're pregnant?
I think you can have a cup. I don't drink coffee because it makes me crazy.
How long have you been in Al-Qaeda? If you're going to do this, you want to make sure your question is obviously absurd, like being in Al-Qaeda, which makes it more likely to make her laugh and signals that you're being playful, so you can be confident you won't come off like a jerk. Another easy tease is to call out when the person says something cliché. Here's an example.
I have a gluten allergy, so I can't really eat.
You have a gluten allergy. That's so unusual to hear from an actress.
No, it's for real. I mean for real.
If you tease someone with a cliché call-out, you're very likely to see them try to justify why they're different and not like the cliché. It creates a frame where they're basically trying to get you to like them or think they're unique. You saw that at the end of the last example. And here's another example.
I'm not really a vegan yet, but I'm working on it.
Do you know how many girls I've heard say that shit? This type of teasing doesn't have the same absurdity shield, so reserve the cliché call-out for clichés that people won't be insecure about. Another habit that you can use to make your teasing well-received rather than hurtful is you should call yourself out as well. By teasing yourself as well as other people, you make it clear that it's not actually a critique. You're just saying whatever comes to mind that makes you laugh. If teasing intimidates you, you can start by focusing on something more foundational, being playfully absurd. Playfulness is a key part of flirting. In this next example, notice how the joke doesn't just make her laugh, it immediately changes the tone of the conversation. Fries are from Belgium, aren't they?
Yes, Belgium is everything bad for you. Fries, chocolate, waffles.
Black tar heroin too. Most people would have chimed in with something else Belgium is actually known for. It's a common mistake when flirting to think of the goal of the conversation as simply exchanging information. The reason teasing and being playfully absurd help build chemistry is because there's another goal when flirting: to create emotions. To be like this, you want to focus on creating a conversation that's fun and establishes that you're more playful than most people. This helps tremendously with being flirty and sexual. It's optional, but it can be a huge part of your attractive persona and the chemistry that you create with someone. You should create an environment where people feel safe being flirty and sexual. How should you do this? There are several ways. One is to go there first on your own with a joke that isn't about them. Here's an example of how you can work sex into a conversation in a way that feels natural rather than creepy.
It's the weekend, so you can slip into whatever mood you like.
No, you can totally slide right on top instead. You specifically make jokes about dating or sex to see if the other person jumps in and plays along. If they don't, no sweat. If they do, it becomes much easier for you to build sexual chemistry. Here's another example. Are you into spanking?
Not really my thing.
Oh, good pivot. Still, are you? Even just a smidge.
All right, a smidge. Like, only if it's with a feather instead.
Ask it like you ask any other question, like it's no big deal. And suddenly, they've gone from having a normal conversation to discussing what they like in the bedroom. That said, bringing up sex runs the risk of seeming creepy, so you'll have to calibrate. Another way to make this more likely to go well is to playfully misinterpret something so that she was the one who took the conversation sexual. Here is a quick example. Yeah, I think I like it.
Yeah, me too. I had a lot of fun on the back of a horse.
What are we talking about here? Playfully misinterpreting something she says as sexual gives her the opportunity to talk about her dating or sex life. Because you used humor and framed it like she was the one hinting at it. If she doesn't want to talk about it, she can just laugh and move on without it creating any awkwardness. If joking about sexual topics isn't something you feel comfortable with, you can still use playful misinterpretation to make people laugh and enjoy being around you. For instance,
I do a lot of adventurous things, but water is not one of my best friends.
really? What do you do when it's thirsty time? These platonic jokes are still great for building a connection because they make it fun to be around you. Another way you can create a flirtatious vibe is with innuendo. You can say something that's technically innocent but could have a double meaning. Example, hey, don't attack that yoga pose like that. Stretch it out. No need to bend and twist and thrust so fast. Ease into it. It's wildly inappropriate, except it isn't. One key thing with any of these misinterpretations or innuendos is that you don't need to linger on them. By not lingering, it shows you are flirty and inappropriate, mostly to amuse yourself, which makes you much more attractive. Once you see it's well received, you can come back to it later with a different joke and stay on the topic longer. If none of these are habits for you already, don't panic. Rather than trying to master them all at once, pick the one that seems most fun to you and focus on building that habit first. The next time you have a conversation with a stranger or even a friend, focus on finding just one thing you can say that's playfully absurd. Make it a game for yourself. Purposely doing this several days in a row will make it easier and easier to do without thinking. By starting with friends, rather than, say, beautiful women, you take the pressure off yourself and make it simpler to build the habit. This ties in well with the next thing that lets you confidently flirt with anyone. Your charming, flirty personality isn't something you should only turn on when talking to a woman you are sexually interested in. You can flirt with every woman. Flirting with the world helps for several reasons. If a woman sees everyone around you laughing, it makes you more attractive. If you spot someone you're drawn to, it's easier to approach them because you're already in an outgoing, playful state. And if the way you interact with a woman you're attracted to matches the energy and playfulness you bring to everyone else, it's much more likely to feel natural and far less likely to come off as creepy or try hard. That fear of seeming creepy is a big reason many people feel nervous about flirting. To ensure you aren't seen that way, there's another habit you can steal. Leaned back body language. A common mistake that makes people uncomfortable is leaning in too closely when you speak. By contrast, if you lean back, you make it clear you aren't trapping them, and you wouldn't follow if they chose to walk away. You still want to get comfortable with some level of physical touch to build chemistry. Think high fives, shoulder touches, or hugs. But leaning back sets a relaxed tone. There is one more trick that lets you flirt confidently with anyone. Purposefully get comfortable with your worst case scenario, awkward pauses. During a date, the worst thing that can happen is the conversation stalling into a long, awkward silence. So what should you do? You purposely create them. As a result, you have no reason to fear them. This doesn't mean you should go out of your way to make people uncomfortable, but rather find harmless ways to expand your comfort zone. If you're watching this, you're probably interested in meeting someone, so one simple way to do that is to talk to more people. If you're unsure what to say to start, here are 2 conversation starters. Hey, I don't think I've met you yet. I'm Ben. Or you can say, I know this is totally random, but you're absolutely gorgeous. I'd be kicking myself all day if I didn't come find out more about you. Now that you know the powerful habits that make women naturally attracted to you, it's time to put them into action. Remember, attraction isn't something you chase. It's something you create by becoming a high-value man. Develop these habits, stay consistent, and watch how effortlessly women start gravitating toward you. If you found this video helpful, make sure to hit that like button. It helps more men like you discover these game-changing insights. And if you want to master the art of attraction, confidence, and dominance, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss a video. Drop a comment below and let me know. What's one habit you're going to start working on today? Let's build a community of strong, high-value men. Until next time, stay sharp, stay confident, and keep leveling up.